This is where I stayed last night. I thought I was coming to a fire station that knew I was coming because I had stayed at one in Matamoros and they told me to come here, but they didn't know that guy and they didn't really have room to stay, but well, at least in the bunks, so I stayed here. But they were really nice and it was really cool. So thanks to them. Muchas gracias, amigos.
Nada, Javier, que tengas buen viaje. Dios te bendiga y mucha suerte. Cuídate, hermano.
Gracias.
Yeah, so those guys were really nice for letting me sleep at their fire station for my first night in Durango. And then on my first day in Durango, as I was bicycling around the downtown area, a young man noticed that I was a gringo and came to talk to me, and he even offered that I could sleep at his place. But I did decline at that point. I think there had been too many nights where I didn't sleep that well that I was really due for a good night's sleep. So I do think I got myself a room downtown Durango to spend a day visiting the city. So yeah, I really got the impression that people were very nice here, despite the fact that the government advisories that I had read for Durango were avoid all travel. And yeah, beside the people being nice, the architecture in Durango definitely jumps out at you right away. Very large buildings that are very aesthetically pleasing and just impressive in general. And that really give you the sense that this city has a lot of history. The name Durango is the name of the hometown of the Spanish conquistador who founded the city in 1563. His name was Francisco de Ibarra. And the city was founded because of its proximity to the Cerro del Mercado, or Market Mountain in English, which was believed to contain large amounts of silver. However, they later discovered that it actually had an important deposit of iron. Then in 1596, Jesuit missionaries, after their expulsion from Spain, founded a college near the city, which was the main educational institution for the north of Mexico. Then, during the 17th century, the city had some difficulties with the native people in the area, which led to a stoppage of growth in the city. And then Durango, which previously was the kind of Spanish capital for the area, which would now be Coahuila and Durango, the state of Durango, the capital was then moved to a nearby city of Parral. But then in 1680, the city began growing again. This was because of the fact that the mines in Parral had started to dry out, and because the Spanish government succeeded in subduing the native people in the area. And because of this renewed growth in the city of Durango, Durango once again reclaimed the title of capital of the area on October 10th, 1738. Now, Durango was at the height of its influence during the 18th century because of the mining of various minerals in the nearby Sierra Madre Occidental. The bonanza allowed for the creation of a number of grand colonial era buildings in the city's center, such as the cathedral and the Plaza de Armas that we are looking at in these clips. Now this footage is mostly in the center of the city. The city also has other important histories, such as the fact that various players in the War for Independence, for Mexican independence, including Miguel Hidalgo, were executed here on July 17th, 1812, and their remains were buried at the Santuario de Nuestra Señora de Guadalupe in the city of Durango. During the late 19th and early 20th century, the city of Durango remained the political center of the state, as well as the regional commercial center for agricultural and handcrafted products. Mayors of the city at this time concentrated on improving infrastructure such as government buildings, hospitals, water supply lines, and public streets. And the population of the city continued to grow. In 1911, the city joined the Mexican Revolution under the leadership of the Arrieta brothers. Domingo Arrieta took the city, and the soldiers under the command of Victoriano Huerta rebelled against the government. The Mexican Revolution led to the loss of production of both haciendas and factories. On June 18, 1913, insurgents took the city of Durango, burning businesses. The war led to economic depression that lasted for decades. In 1917, Domingo Arrieta, loyal to Venustiano Carranza, became the governor of the state. The population grew noticeably in the 1960s and 1970s, mostly due to the migration from rural areas. Now, the history of filmmaking in Durango goes back to 1898, when a clip entitled "A Train Arriving to Durango" was shot here. However, it was in the 1950s when commercial filmmaking began in the city and surrounding areas. Director Jack Smith discovered the La Ferreria Hacienda and found the landscape perfect for Western films. The first movie shot here was White Feather by 20th Century Fox. Over the following decades, various Hollywood and Mexican films were shot here, attracting various famous stars. These included Robert Wagner, Clark Gable, Charlton Heston, James Coburn, Charles Bronson, Glenn Ford, Anthony Quinn, and especially John Wayne, who shot 7 films and bought a ranch called La Jolla. Film production continued into the 1970s and 1980s, with Mexican companies using the areas as well. More recent stars to work here include John Cusack, Kevin Costner, Selma Hayek, Penelope Cruz, Antonio Banderas, Catherine Zeta-Jones, and Brendan Fraser. Film production continues to this day, but not to the extent as in the past. The state still has a director of cinematography to promote the making of movies here. The main attraction for filmmakers is the variety of landscapes. Population growth accelerated in the 1970s due to the city's economic development, including cinematic production, as well as economic decline in other parts of the state. Transportation infrastructure increased with the establishment of the airport. Industrial parks such as Durango and Gomez Palacio were also established. The city became a World Heritage Site in 2010 as part of the Camino Real de Tierra Adentro. In the 2010s, many of the street lights were replaced with those with LED lighting as a cost and energy saving measure. In 2013, the City Council voted unanimously to ban bullfighting in the municipality. In 2013, the city celebrated the 450th anniversary of its founding. So I hope you guys enjoyed that tour and history of Durango, Mexico. I definitely enjoyed my time there as part of a larger trip bicycling throughout Mexico. And if you'd like to see more of the videos of that adventure, I'll be putting a link to the playlist of all those videos in the description for this video, so below the video. And that was even part of a larger adventure bicycling through Latin America. And after that, I bicycled through half of Africa, going up the east. I've also bicycled through Central and Eastern Europe and the Balkans, Turkey, etc. And all of those videos from those adventures are available on this same YouTube channel, Hum of the Earth. So you can click on the channel, click on playlists, pick a country you like, and go from there. If you enjoyed the video, please click the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and click on the bell to be notified when new videos come out. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Have a good one.